Maaaaaan, according to the Doza, episode 25. And thank you, because you could have been anywhere in the world. But you're here with me, the incomparable Bun Johnson, and you know I appreciate that shit. Man, whether you listen to 6 years, 6 seconds, 6 decades from the time the shit here dropped, man, you are appreciated. And it's funny, for those who don't know, I start off every show with a Hove line. I remember how H to the Izzo made me feel. You know what I'm saying? That you could have been any place in the world, but you're with me. I ended on some Hove shit. That's the old show I did. But Hove is a big inspiration for me, man. And it's big that Hove back outside. Like I ain't gonna lie, I was looking into the Roots picnic tickets. My homegirl and my homie A-Rab and his people, they actually went. A-Rab didn't go, but his people went. And they was all trying to coordinate a group trip. I kind of wanted to see the blueprint shit. But, I got a lot of other wrestling business. And, that's just not something that's on the bucket list right now. But I made that point to say that Jay-Z to millennials, I think, to a certain group of us, he it. Like the cream of the crop, the top of the mountain, the shit he Hove, God MC, all that. Like, I'm going to get that out the way because I'm a Hove fan. Huge Hove. I listen to Hove on the regular still, you know what I'm saying? Now, I know, I ain't a Magna Carta 444 Jay-Z fan, Reasonable Doubt, the first rap song I ever really learned word for word on my own without radio influence was Hard Knock Life. I love Jay-Z. But man, that wasn't it. I remember being 20-some years, 21 years ago now, when the game was throwing shit at folks and he went on Hot 97, he did something. And before everybody heard this something, he did it as a freestyle on the radio, but it was way more and it was more, you know what I'm saying? How that moment in time froze to me, you know what I'm saying? I was just becoming an adult, but still, 20 years later, like, God damn, Hov still, it was good to see him outside. I ain't one of them people just gonna poke fun of him but you can because this is what we do. It ain't like he a cultural icon to the point where we can't joke about Jay-Z. I'm giving my honest opinion as a fan. I don't think, nah, Hov, nah. And I understand people speaking on him. He got a lot of shit. He's come from under recently. The sexual abuse allegations that was just completely unfounded. I'm glad to see Hov had that energy, but we got to remember, Hov 60 years old. I was talking about some shit from 20 years ago. I was 20. I was 19 years old, like 18 years old. Hov 60 years old. And I think in order to be, like, completely honest, growing up, I really look forward to getting those magazine editorials when you saw an interview and you read it. And this sort of just this mystical effect that celebrities had back then because you didn't have all this access. Even if people was throwing stones, you could hear Hov say something about it in the song, like, treat it as nothing. But, like, folk come, the dreads out, got on stage, you were dressing like nothing. And then it's corny. Like, this shit was corny. I love Jay-Z. But you get the right to say how you feel. I'm not so behind a nigga where it's like this diminish him and no shit like that. It's just that at this stage, that somebody who wanted to be looked at as like an icon and a person of a certain sort at 60, and I ain't trying to ageism because rap is competitive regardless of the status you think. If somebody's shooting at you, you supposed to shoot back. That's what rap built on. That's the whole premise of this thing. It was a competition to be the best. And sometimes, we lose sight of that, and that's cool too because it's a whole other thing to it too. It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be creative. It's supposed to, people supposed to make shit that make people feel good. It ain't all supposed to be focused on the competition or dissing another motherfucker. Like, that's not it. And he in his GQ interview that I was a big fan of earlier this year, doing it with a younger media mogul, that young guy from GQ, the editor-in-chief. I can't think of his name right now, but that was a really cool interview in my opinion. And it was cool to see Hov actually address it without having to address it in song because I don't want to hear 60-year-old Hov new album. Like, I'm sorry. Even though it's probably some gems to be dropped in there. Like, rap, just like hooping and shit. Like, this is a young man sport. And I ain't saying because you get older you should stop rapping. No, but think about it, like, if you try to keep that focus on you, like a lot of other people don't get to shine. And I'm becoming an older, you know what I'm saying, a consumer of rap. It's a lot of rap I can't consume because I don't get it no more. And I understand that. I don't diss them. I don't speak on it because it's not for me. It's supposed to be for the crowd coming up or the youngest, this day generation, this day time to shine. But it's a lot of rap that I still, that do catch my attention from younger generations. And it's like, damn, I like his flow. I can understand some of what he's saying. Maybe let me dig deeper. Let me try to get on his level. He shouldn't try to be on my level. And that's how I feel about Hov. Like, he at a certain level where he shouldn't be trying to shoot at Drake. Why? Like even in your peak, that's not something that, you know what I'm saying? Like, even though because in the SoundScan era, folks was the man. Like wasn't nobody shipping it like Hov, but it wasn't that he had the highest numbers per se. It was just his aura. It was him. You got to maintain that. Like, you don't owe it to nobody too. Like, if you feel like you got to, you got to. That's the fucked up part about me being me. I'm going to always acknowledge the double, you know what I'm saying? This is a double-edged sword, but for me as a Jay-Z fan, as somebody that still think of him as, like, just impeccable, like, regardless of, the contradictions in his rap and his life, and it's like, man, I don't want to hear folks talking about the bricks no more. You corporate America, Jay-Z, you represent this and that. You don't have to stoop to this level. You know what I'm saying? Man. And that's what I wanted to name it. Man, that's all I'm saying. Man, all episode, because that's how the fuck I feel, man. Man. Yeah, so, man, I look forward to watching that motherfucking stream of him at Yankee Stadium, because that's heroic, like, you know what I'm saying? Man, he made the Yankee half famous in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Besides on some baseball shit, on some hip hop culture, like, man, Hov slid that. Yeah, niggas in Chicago. I was one of the first. I ain't gonna say one of the first fitters, but the fitter I had to have year 2000. Not gonna lie, got an all black Yankees fitted. I ain't get the blue because I'm like, nah, we can't. I'm a big Cubs fan, but I don't rock the blue. So that shade of blue, I got on. But it is what it is. We gonna keep rocking. We gonna keep rolling, man. And man, another thing that make me say, man, I think as we approach the summer season and the kids getting out of school, they're gonna be out here freely acting. And it's a lot of talk about the trends in the city of Chicago, where the kids link up and they, just do some reckless ass shit. I can't speak to that. Like, I think we need to parent our kids a little bit more and shit like that. I ain't no father. I ain't nobody daddy, so I'm not going to say, parent your kids a little bit more fucking better. But I think also as the generation of the parents and the uncles and now the grandparents and the grand uncles and shit like that, we need to shoot these kids a little bit more grace too. I got neighbors and shit, and I don't really, converse with them. We don't hang, I'm more their parents' ages. And they parents like, them niggas burnt out. I'm still lit, so. But they young guys and they got, little kids and shit. And it's tough sometimes because they let their kids run and do their shit. And they sometimes run over into the yard in the property where I live. And, this shit is family owned and shit. So, it mean a lot to me. This is when my grandma lived and shit like that. And she kept a certain level of respect for it. And, when you raise in environments where, like, the community holds y'all to a standard of keeping it a certain type of way because you are of the community. Like, when I was growing up, that's how people taught you. Like, we lived in communities where everybody knew your mother and your father, or they knew your people and shit like that. Somebody knew somebody, so you had to be, wasn't no littering and shit like that. So I'm big on that shit still now. But I also believe that you can't always impose what you've learned or how you was raised on other people, because I ain't, I can remember being a kid. I can't remember being nobody parent because I ain't nobody parent. So I have to remember sometimes how I was treated as a kid. And I want everybody out there. I remember I grew up on 89th and East End, like right below Peel Hill and shit. So it was a lot of nice, affluent people like in that little area. And it was, working class people that just wanted to be near the money and that shit. And it was the generation of people like my mother who their parents moved out, left them and shit. So you gotta, the people, a certain generation where people were given things and they might not have had the same appreciation as their parents because it was a break from them living in the black belt and shit like that. So everybody was like ultra on their business. Like, they say our kids out of line, they called the house and they left a message, or they came over later when their mama got off work, and your mother knew everybody around because she grew up in the area. So when they saw you riding your bike, people made sure you were safe, but it was also, the shit I remember the most was the old people that was, stay off my lawn, get the fuck, like, it used to be people that just stayed in the fucking door at a certain time of the day to watch you ride your bike, and you go across their lawn, and they come outside. Some people would be animated with it. Some people ask you to stop, or ooh, or you was, as I got older and then we moved out of that situation. We moved towards the hundreds in the 96 and shit, and my mama got 4 kids and shit. You congregate, and if I got 2 of my guys out there, my little brother out there, my sister come out, and then some of my other motherfuckers pass, it may look like it's a lot of motherfuckers. We march to the store, we march in this crowd. People automatically assume because they see you in this situation that y'all bad, y'all up to no good, nigga. We just hanging out. I mean, I can't speak to everybody intention in this crowd. Some people are here to do harm. Some people are. I'm not gonna say good or bad people. They just they own it like that. That's I don't subscribe to good or bad no more. But the point I'm making is we have to, as a community, show the grace to the kids, because I don't like treating the kids how people treated us, because that was some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? They didn't give you a chance that they automatically assume. And as much as we supposed to be a progressive society, we haven't learned from that, I don't think, because it's automatically, oh man, look at these little fuckers, ooh, and people complain about having like I go out every day on my way to work, or when I'm just popping out to, run errands and shit, is garbage in the line because the kids is playing. And I could be pissed off about it. Sometimes it's like, damn, they is. And I took a cue from the neighbor across the street, because that nigga come out and he sweep in front of his crib. And you can notice on certain, like before street cleaning come, and, just throughout the summer, sometimes, it's a lot of shit. It's a lot of, it's the summer. People having travel, people over. And people who don't live in your neighborhood, they do treat it a certain type of way. I hate to say that. I don't want to specify just white, black, Latino, nothing, just people. I ain't, quickly get in the car, they got some garbage, boom, and throw it out there. Or motherfucker sitting there. I used to be one of them niggas back in the day. In the car, your homie got the car, y'all can't do what y'all want. Ain't nobody got their crib yet. We in the car. We posted up in front of folks' crib. We in that bitch blowing. Somebody might, just recklessly throw the garbage out. It don't take the police to be called. It don't have to be, you know what I'm saying? As annoying as it is to pick it up, it's going to be garbage. It's your job to maintain that shit anyway. It's your job to, like, what I don't do them was walk past my neighbor in them crib and pick up their garbage, because them niggas tripping. You see this shit too. Like, if it's blowing over and shit, like, yeah. But sometimes I ain't gonna lie, I will kick that shit into your lawn, because, like, goddamn it, each one teach one, man. We gotta all do our own. But you see me out here sweeping. I got a neighbor, this nigga will leave a tequila bottle, like, in the street, like, and parking it, all that's like, bro, he got his lawn, so nobody pick it up. Like, what the fuck? I just think before I go off and just start talking about all type of random shit this summer and forever on, remember the child inside you. Remember how, a kind word, or even trying to express something that they should be doing, just how you say things, like, it could change the whole perception and have. I ain't saying we try to make friends with them or be at peace with them and stuff like that, but you want to be harmonious in all situations, and especially with growing kids, because now they got this whole thing, and I was one of them too. Like, man, who the fuck? And I was a rebellious young adult, because, like, once, I always thought of my man, motherfucker couldn't tell me shit. Now I'm big and I'm strong and everything matching up. Like, now you can't really. And it just took me, time to understand where people was coming from. It's not always what they saying is wrong. It's just how they approached it. And, that shit is important. It make you say, man, don't forget about the jits, man. Show them love too. And before we get up out of here, man, I think upon further review, it might be time for us to start, I don't want to say revolting, but you got to remember what America was built on now. Recently, everybody's been in an uproar, but it been happening. It happened some months ago that they started putting up them pay-to parks at the lake. And I ain't seen no problem with that, because if I want to go to the lake and I'm driving, I have no problem paying. You know what I'm saying? Even if I'm not per se parking, because parking would define you leaving the car. If I just come through the cruise through and see what's going on, I shouldn't. You know what I'm saying? I don't think a motherfucker should have to pay that a tax for that. And that boils down to being overly taxed in Chicago. In Chicago, we all know how this shit work. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got amusement tax, you got hotel tax, you got fucking just all type of just ridiculous. I can't go down the whole list of this shit. And I can give you a very good example. The other day, my coworker, shout out to my nigga Al from, I was walking into work and he was like, bro, before I clock in, he's like, man, run to 7-Eleven, woo, grab me some Celsius. So me and Ford thinking they had 2 for $6. He gave me $6. I'm like, all right, bro, this is my man. I ain't shit to throw the extra on now. Nigga, that shit went to $9. I was like, how? And they gave me a receipt, because usually I don't even get a receipt. I'm like, bro, let me see this shit, bro. How? This was $6. At the most, it should be $7. So I'm like, how does this go? It was like literally $9.93. and it was like $1.60 some tax. I can't explain it. I wish I had the receipt to put on screen. Maybe I could just buy it and put it on here just for that shit was crazy. And that's what got my thoughts rolling. And I roll past, most days what I'm saying, now I'm riding on the bus and my car fucked up. I don't want to get it fixed, want to buy a better one, but I'm just gonna get it fixed. But that's not the point. I ride past and I think about that shit. You ride past the lake and you see they got the folding arms. And I was thinking it takes our money to maintain this, the infrastructure of Chicago. These are some of the things that Daniel Burnham and the people of the city planning has said that are requirements for city life to have these types of recreations free because people are paying it for it already, whether you believe so or not. Whether you can't just tax every little fucking amusement, that's not what America really was built on, breaking away from being overly taxed. And I think as a society we all gotta look within. Like, yeah, we need certain shit. Yeah. Like, we can't be looking to squeeze every fucking dollar out of everybody. It's gonna be something like I was just talking to my homie about this earlier, and he let's just say a higher tax bracket. He a nigga that he get money, and he got the disabled vet shit going on. A lot of shit good for him. And he from his standpoint, he's saying, well, we get breaks and shit like that, so it's only right that they try to get the money back some way, somehow. And I'm like, bro, how's money guaranteed to you that you don't have? You got the shit in Homewood, where they use the technology now, these radars to ping cars, and they alert the police nearby, and then the police come swoop you in on, you know what I'm saying? Because of the radar they're not actually seeing you doing this. They use the technology. And you think about all the good technology can be doing. And it further had me thinking, because on Facebook, these groups, and they already telling us that this shit is coming, that they're going to have these drones that control traffic. And if they see you breaking the traffic law, they don't even have to pull you over. They're just going to mail you a ticket. And, people think, oh, yeah, that's just to keep us safe. I don't think that got shit to do with safety. Technology advanced, and they finding newer, and just because we haven't seen it before, oh man, this can be safer. This can be a healthier way. It's somebody's job to do that shit, man. It's not technology can be helping save lives, like doing real impactful shit. We seeing the Pope speak about this shit, like, man, how bad AI is. For, like, nigga, the Terminator 30 years ago, 40 years ago was written. They were telling you, like, it was told in a cinematic form, and it was supposed to be entertaining. It was basically telling us, like, bro, I'm just wrapping it all up to say, man, bro, we have to take this look and see and take a step back. Money can't be the whole driving force. Humanity is taking a back seat to capitalism. And I don't think you understand what happens when, you stop caring about the human, we animals at the end of the day. And one thing you know about animals, them niggas gonna eat. They're gonna eat each other, and then once they can't eat each other, they're gonna get to somewhere where they got food, and if you try to stop them, they're gonna come in numbers and droves. They're gonna do what they gotta do to eat, and humans don't know, but we got them opposable thumbs. Makes us very dangerous, and there's nothing more dangerous than a nigga who's hungry. There's nothing more dangerous than a motherfucker who feel fucked over and they tired of, and if they come together in droves, you gonna use your technology to try to stop the masses. It's not gonna happen like that, bro. I'm sorry. I think we have to take a look back. Stop letting them take things from us that are for us. We pay them. We are not slaves to our government. We shouldn't be slaves to our government. We shouldn't have to have town hall meetings about basic human things, human rights, basic humanity. Like, everything shouldn't be for profit. Some shit should just be. I ain't saying, money shit. I understand money got to be made. I understand business and all that shit. But at the end of the day, some got to give. And who you think gonna give first? And it's just my thoughts. My thoughts has been episode 24, man. According to the Doza, I appreciate y'all, man. And we trying to get through. We pushing through. I'm gonna try to, keep them coming, keep them going. We enjoy my little hiatus. I had to get my mind right, think, and be ready to just do this shit, man. So this is the first of many, first of plenty. I hope that you've enjoyed. And, before I log off, I tell everybody, man, you got to show love to your enemies. You're going to ask me why, Doza, because it hurts them more.